have in the house?
Hello, 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 hello.
There's Charlie. There's Kim. Let's see. Get my mouse over here. Who else we got? How many we got online? Yeah, we got 8 online. I don't think it's not going to be a real busy day today. People are traveling for the holiday here, and
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's my replay. Hold on. All right. Hey, Sunflower, Teresa, Natalie. Very cool. And Vangelo, she's here too. That's good. I'm trying to decide about tomorrow. Doing the live tomorrow because it's one of the few days my wife will be home. So as soon as I confirm from her, what if that's the case, then I'll let y'all know by the end of the day. We will have the radio show tonight. I guess you set for the radio show tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 10 songs coming. I split between Satin and was it Charlie? I think it was Charlie and Satin that split it. Let me know.
Mm-hmm.
So great songs, and we will be playing those tonight on the at 10 o'clock show. We're back into Elvis. What happened? And we are just about to start chapter 7 of a 21 chapter book. So that means we are 1/3 of the way through today, which means 6 more months.
As as Charlie said in the middle of the show. So tell me, Elvis, what did happen after that?
Let's see. Had We had a really good chat on Wednesday with Lisa's book. That's a great discussion we had with that. A lot of input from you guys, and it's such an emotional book too.
Mhm.
This is on the other spectrum of emotion on this book we're talking about here. Just the
Mhm.
disgust of these people. We got all right. Other than that, I don't have any other news to say except for Sunday will be typical gospel hour, gospel show, and coffee date, and then to the new week. I'm also lining up to work on another investigation. Well, actually, I can't do that. I am not a researcher. I am a human being. So so I won't be researching. So if you guys were there on Wednesday, you would understand that. So we're not going to for long, but that's me. That's I'm not a researcher. So just to let you all know. But we are going to be doing the Guardian ad litem by Blanchard Tool. Oh man, I got to tell you guys, I don't know what your on the graph of Colonel. Oh, good. Oh, bad. By the time you were through this, the needle's going to break right off the chart because this stuff in this Guardian in the doc. I've got the exhibits. I got the information, so I'm going to be sharing the information um, um, that we have from there, and it's going to wind up being a 2, 3, maybe 4-parter because this, depending upon you guys getting into the discussion, and I'm going to tell you, this takes you back to the very first time you met Colonel Parker. I
Ooh,
mean, we're not
uh,
talking about just the last year of his life or the last 10 years. We're talking about 50, 55. Wait, I'm 68, so add 72 years, 73 years of the dealings of the colonel.
well, I'm already here with regard to him, so I'm sure by the end of that one, I'll be here on the opposite end.
We need a sound effect every time we say the colonel. We got to have some kind of a sound effect, something really, I don't know. Or we could do Frablucha.
What?
You ever see Young Frankenstein? Every time,
No.
every every time someone says Frau Blugler's name, and a horse goes. Oh, come on, stop winning. Anyways, we digress. Um,
Again.
yeah, we are yeah, again digress. Ought to be a banned word. Yeah, it's almost 90 degrees here right now. 3 o'clock. You guys, a Young Frankenstein is so good. Anyway, so we're back into the chapter again. I had a festival. Supposedly I wasn't going to have a channel today after Wednesday's show, but I don't know. Let me scratch my head here. I think I'm looking at a screen with us on there. So yeah, I didn't sleep a wink all night. Think
Seriously, is that what was said?
yeah. I'm going to have some strikes when I wake up, and you may not even have a channel anymore. I got it recorded. I got it recorded. He literally said that. So, anyways, we're not going to talk anymore about him. We've already, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to come up with if that name comes up. But oh, I know what it is. This is every time his name comes up, I'm going to go. That's what's going to happen every time that his name comes up. It's going to be
You've been fucking busy with these sound effects.
well. That's why I lined them all up for some certain ones, and I created the one. I'm not a researcher. I'm a human being. I made that, and then moved some around so they're closer. I got the every time someone says, well, actually,
Researcher?
it's gonna be the other one. I'm not a researcher. I'm a human being. All right. So, unless you guys are able to dream and watch this in the ether, we are online. Vangello says my whole show will be that sound, and I only get 2 words out of it. All right, here we go. Yeah, welcome to the Evil Bad Elvis channel. We are here to bring you some more stories about the evil people in Elvis's life. Um,
The
so
evil bad YouTube channel?
what's that?
The evil and bad
Oh
YouTube
yeah,
channel?
yeah.
Well, then what?
No, no, it's fake channel. That's right, it's fake channel. Anyway, um, so last week we covered chapter 6. So I'm going to go over some of the highlights that we just over that, just to kind of catch us into chapter 7. So hopefully we will get a little bit further than here. You know what? I need to check on him. I'm going to send a message real quick.
Oh, you have to laugh at that kind of stupidity. Oh
Yeah,
God.
and you're a bad. Wait a minute. You're very bad if you actually read books to read. Anyway, okay, so last week in chapter 6, it focused on Elvis. Chapter 6 focused on Elvis before fame. They talked about his humble beginnings. He was portrayed as poor, shy, insecure, and searching for acceptance. The authors argue that the frightened boy never disappeared even after the king. Gladys Presley is presented as Elvis's greatest emotional anchor and source of security. Elvis's later need for loyalty, praise, and protection is linked to his childhood insecurities. What? Red West, Sunny West, and Dave Hebler, were they freaky doctors? Were they psychologists? They're sitting here. The discussion is they're alluding to all of this as if they can understand the psyche of Elvis.
Exactly. And here they're saying his need for loyalty, praise, and protection. Well, he didn't need the praise, nor did he expect it. Because when people inferred it, he always used to say, I'm just a regular human being with blood running through my veins. There's nothing supernatural or anything. I just love what I'm doing. And on the point of loyalty,
Mm.
any decent any decent friend or friendship or relationship, whether it be with a friend or family member, automatically loyalty is expected from that kind of relationship.
Yeah, Melissa.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
so the only thing that's questionable in that section sentence there is protection. Did he really need the protection? I
Mm.
don't think so. Not all the
Not to
time,
that extent. Yeah.
not to the extent it was given to him. So sorry, in my opinion, that bullet point number two is a crock of shit.
Yeah. And Melissa is right. Same thing we all think. They weren't even around during his humble beginnings as a child. Most of them.
Yeah,
In fact, Billy would have been the only one of that group that was with him since childhood.
exactly. And how would that relationship have been different prior to his career? Their
What
relationship,
was the age difference between them two? Billy
uh,
and I know Billy was
Billy,
younger because
yeah, Billy was 14 when Elvis was shortly before Elvis went to the army or when Elvis was in the army. So we can say a good
10 years maybe.
15 years or so. He was 15 years or so younger
Yeah.
than Elvis.
Yeah. Hey, Maxie. Boo, boo. Yeah, Gene.
Um,
There you go. Thank you, Melissa. That's what I was trying to think of before Billy. It was Gene, and who was the? Of course, he wasn't with them really. The brother, the one that. What was the other Smith's name? I can't think of his name off the bat.
oh, Harold?
Harold Smith. I don't think.
Was it Harold?
No, somebody else.
Oh,
I don't know.
somebody will know.
Elvis was so humble. He didn't bash other artists or actors. What would praise mean from a bunch of guys who couldn't function without it? It's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and besides, Elvis and Billy's relationship would have naturally evolved.
Yeah. So Elvis's later need for loyalty, praise, and we said that is linked to his childhood insecurity. Mu-
Hey,
music is okay. Billy is 8 years younger than Elvis. Okay,
look,
we were close.
I,
Hey, hello, Amy. Hey,
I
thank you
knew,
for stopping by. We had a great bingo.
and knew she wouldn't stay away too long.
Oh, I got my new sound effect here. I know you'll enjoy this. I am not a researcher. I am a human being. All right, let's go. So anytime somebody says that word, that gets played. Um, so music is portrayed as Elvis's a natural gift. Okay, not technical skill, but instinct and emotional. That one's dead on. Junior Smith. Yes, thank you, Maxie. Yeah, Junior. And then he's the one that kind of gets raked over, not raked, but he gets a lot of negative stories because I guess he drank a little bit, but Elvis loved him, man. Him and I guess them two were close together.
Mhm.
Um, the Humes High School talent becomes a turning point, giving Elvis confidence through performing. Well, I'm sure it gave him some confidence. Absolutely,
Mhm.
it's perfect. Marion Keisker is credited as the first person at Sun Records to recognize Elvis's unique potential.
Yes.
Yep. The recording of That's All Right Mama is presented at is the moment Elvis' career truly began. I would say yes.
Yep.
Red West reconnects with Elvis just as local fame begins, witnessing the birth of the legend. Key takeaways: the superstar never outgrew the insecure young man. Gladys was the emotional foundation of Elvis's life. You know, if I go back to this for a second, superstar never outgrew the insecure. You know, everybody's got some form. You know, I overall have got some form of insecurity, but it's not a whole blanket
Mhm.
insecurity. It's just insecure about certain things. Uh, so everybody's got that, but they're making it sound like he was just insecure about everything. Jesus, the man walked in front of a stage of, you know, thousands
Com-
of people. Um,
Yeah.
the superstar never outgrew the insecure young man. Gladys was the emotional foundation. Music gave Elvis confidence that he lacked off stage.
Huh?
I eh,
Elvis lacked confidence off stage. Oh my. So what they basically saying there is the only time he had confidence was when he was on stage. Other times he was whimpering, insecure, and
well, no, that's not. It's not saying it's the only thing. It just says that music helped Elvis's confidence. So, in that perspective, I would say, yeah, music. You're doing music. You're getting people getting recognized. That gives you a little bit more confidence.
yeah,
But
but
I
they
know they're trying to make it look like Elvis had no confidence. Period.
yes, yes,
You know, he
they
was very he was insecure. He was very nervous and unsure when he went into the studio the first time to record. You know, the one he did for his mom, "My Happiness,"
Mhm.
and you know, he went over the story that I know and have heard is that he went over to a friend's house who had a turntable, a record player, because they didn't have one. And when he heard it, he hated his voice, and he left and that's where the 45 the acetate stayed until it was you know discovered. And I think what's his name, Jack White, owns it now. But yeah, you know, you're right, Cam. You know, it's ridiculous that there's everything they say they just sum them up in a whole. It just as the whole package.
it's belittling and condescending, and then they so-called frame it in respect that they wanted to do it to help him. No, they didn't. Ever since chapter one, they've been bashing the shit out of it. They
Yeah,
haven't they haven't said one uplifting thing the whole time since the first sentence of the book. So I don't know, where did I get lost? Where was the we
yeah,
wanted to do it to help him? No, you didn't. You wanted to destroy a man that was already broken.
yeah. That's right, Melissa. There's a difference between being shy and being insecure. Vangelo, I wouldn't say Elvis was insecure. He wasn't arrogant or condescending, which might be confused with being insecure.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say earlier, too. Had he been the opposite, had he been an arrogant person, walk around, oh, my shit don't stink and the sun shines out my ass, everyone would have thought him an asshole anyway. Now he's the opposite,
Yeah.
and they still think he's an asshole. So, you know,
Um.
where's the middle line?
Yeah. Sun Records launched a career that changed popular music. The chapter explains the emotional roots of the man Elvis would later become. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, if you're going to sit there and say the chapter explains that, that needs to be worded. The chapter explains the viewpoint of what these guys look at as the roots of the man. They have no clue. They weren't there, like we said a few minutes ago. They weren't
hmm
there. They never witnessed that, and it just
uh,
irritates me when I read stuff where they try to explain the psyche of a man. You know,
thank you.
you know, I don't know.
I'm with Sally on this one. The more I hear about these fucking bozos, the
Mm,
more I dislike them.
yeah,
Exactly. Max is right on point with me on this one. How is this book supposed to instill confidence?
yeah,
It doesn't. No wonder he broke down to tears when he read this shit before it even got to the bookshelves. Because these are guys that he cared about. These are guys that he instilled time, effort, money,
yeah,
everything. He instilled into them because he really gave a shit about them, undeservingly, in my
yeah.
opinion. But still, he gave a shit about them, and this is what they do to him.
Yeah.
Like, really? And then they come back and, oh, we did the book out of love, man. Because, oh, fuck off.
He didn't reply yet.
No, no disrespect to the dead, but
No.
you know,
They did all their disrespect living, so they should get theirs now.
exactly.
Um, yeah, it's just like Sonny said originally. He said that we wrote this book out of bitterness.
Thank you.
Of course, he changed it a little bit more, and then now it's for instilling confidence. You're bitter, so I'm going to instill some confidence in the man.
Hmm.
What? Not only arrogance, but just lack of any kind of intelligence.
Hmm.
Yeah, see, cat first time. All right, so now we're into chapter 7. Um, this is the chapter where the authors fully develop the idea of Elvis as magnetic. It's going to be interesting to hear this part.
Yeah,
Magnetic, emotionally overwhelming, impossible to resist, deeply complicated.
and you see the ironies of this, the contradictions that they sketching in each chapter. They start with a positive, and then immediately after they contradict it, and then they go back to. It's constantly like a pendulum swinging. They can't decide which side of the fence they want to sit on.
Yeah, good point, Vangelo. Yeah, respect is earned. They didn't earn it.
For sure, 100%.
Sonny was bitter from the day Elvis hit him when he was harassing the house guest. They were just bitter because their meal ticket was gone.
Hmm.
Um, Section 1, Elvis is a global icon. The chapter opens by emphasizing Elvis's worldwide fame and universal appeal. The authors list record sales, awards, international popularity, cross generational appeal, but this is not a simple praise. The purpose is to establish scale. Elvis is no longer merely famous, he's almost mythological. The setup matters because the rest of the chapter explores what happens psychologically when one human being lives inside that level of adoration.
And they were the perfect people to talk to about psychological issues because 98.99% of the time they were all fucking high anyway.
Yeah.
But that's my story and I'm sticking to it. And I didn't research that. That's my own opinion. Speaking of which, you have to
I'm
throw in
not
the
a researcher. I am a human being.
you
So
have
be
to
careful about saying that word. No.
you have to throw in the disclaimer.
Oh, geez, yeah.
This is all for entertainment purposes only. Our comments are our opinions only. We make no claims as to fact, and the viewer should make their own opinions. All opinions are welcome on Elvis-A-Z. Thank you for your support.
Yes. And everybody that has a well developed, healthy brain will hopefully form a healthy opinion. Those that cannot form healthy opinions, we we understand.
Section 2, the two Elvises. Oh, here we go. We're going to get into that psyche now, aren't we?
Oh, here
The
we go.
authors repeatedly emphasize that Elvis could make people feel deeply valued, then suddenly become cold, intensely love someone, then emotionally overwhelm them. This becomes central to the book's psychological portrait. And once again, who are they to be psychologists?
And who knows? Maybe they were Dr. Phil's inspiration.
Yeah, they unbelievable. Seems like we've had this discussion before.
Hmm.
Where's that deja vu? Elvis as an emotional force. One of the chapter's strongest observations comes from Dave Hebler. Here we go.
Hmm.
Here's our buddy, who describes Elvis as someone who could emotionally overpower people through sheer charisma.
Oh, he should speak for himself.
Hebler's point is important. Elvis was not manipulative in a calculated business sense. Instead, according to the authors, he possessed instinctive charm, emotional intensity, generosity, unpredictability. That made people emotionally dependent on him. The authors are basically describing celebrity gravity.
And why do I get the feeling they somehow, for that section of the story, conveniently removed themselves from the picture to make that statement?
Hmm. Dave Hebner wasn't even liked by Elvis. Yeah. Yeah.
My God, the amounts of time, energy, love, etc., 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 that Elvis showered on these people, and fuck, blows my mind. I would have rather pushed it out against the wall. Sorry, but that's my opinion.
You know, if what they're describing is how it was when Elvis was around then, well, I don't give a shit
Hmm.
because anything that Elvis did outside in the public image and in private outweighed anything anybody can bitch about Elvis's character, anything. You know,
Exactly.
it's like he almost has a get out of jail free, card where whatever he does behind the scenes, where he gets pissed off, blows who gives a shit? Look who he was doing it to. Did he ever do it to a fan? Did he ever
No,
do it to a co-star that we
no.
know of, or anybody? Did he ever do it to anybody in public? Period. No matter who it was.
And again, I think it's an important question to ask. How many years after Elvis no longer here? Nearly 60 years after he's no longer here. I implore anybody out there, for those people that are listening and those people that are secretly listening, please go out and find one movie star or one music artist of today or back in Elvis's day that has a bad word to say about Elvis, in terms of he had a shitty character, or he was an absolute nightmare to work with, or he was a complete asshole. Anybody out there, please go and find me just one example. One example from the entertainment industry of today and the entertainment industry of Elvis's time, where one entertainer
Hmm.
said that about Elvis. Just one.
Well, I'm sure Hebler can't be surprised that he gets hate mail. I mean, geez, he knows he's an ass.
And he likes being an ass because it gets him attention.
Yeah, gets him riled up. You know.
Yeah.
Boredom is a central problem. This chapter introduces one of the deepest themes in the entire book. It seems like they say that in every chapter. Elvis was chronically bored. The authors repeatedly suggest that by the early 1970s, Elvis had seen everything. Well, no, he hadn't. Bought everything, experienced everything, become insulated from ordinary life. This is psychologically critical. And here we go again with the psychoses. This chapter argues that boredom became dangerous because Elvis constantly needed stimulation, novelty, excitement, emotional movement. This explains cars, guns, karate. Okay, take all that we just read. What's wrong with it? I don't find a thing wrong if that's the way he was.
Hmm.
Look at the life he led. I mean, I'm sure there were times when he was just like bored. What am I going to do next? And, I'm sure by the time he got 3, 4 years into his residency in Vegas, and then doing the same tours, same cities, there was a boredom there. There was like, man, do I have to? I'm sure there were songs that you could tell, though he gave his best to everything. They were fast, and it was just like, let's get through them. But you know what? He earned that right.
And again, let's put ourselves in his position for a second, or at least that's what I'm doing. This a guy that's known the world over by his first name, right? He can go out there and buy whatever he wants, do whatever he wants for as long as he wants. So naturally, he's going to get bored to a certain extent, because there's nothing for him there that he can't either buy or can't do or whatever. No wonder he's gonna experience some form of boredom,
Yeah, yeah,
living that life, but it's not not the bad sense of boredom. Um, more. Again, what about his life was ordinary?
You take all these things, explain the cars, guns, karate. Okay, I'm not into karate, but I was into cars, and I'm not comparing myself to Elvis on the spectrum of financial, but guns, karate, I never did. Spinning sprees, yeah, I've been on them. Hell, I got 250 Cabbage Patch dolls behind. No, I'm just kidding. Entourage activities. I mean, it's just who who cares? Really?
Again, they bitching about the entourage activities, but when they fired up Lisa Marie to fly to Colorado to
Mm.
go buy the fool's gold sandwich,
Hey,
uh,
Kathleen.
did anybody stay behind at Graceland and say, no, fuck that, I don't want to go?
Yeah,
No, they didn't.
yeah,
And and by any means, he worked hard enough for his fucking money. He could have flushed it down the damn toilet if he wanted to, but instead he spent it on their loser asses.
yeah. You see who dropped in, Kathleen?
Hi, 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 Kathleen.
Um, yeah, we're just
Sorry, I'm just ranting.
um, no, that's fine. We're into chapter 7 right now, and we're getting a lesson from the psychologists Sonny, Red, and Dave. You know,
Hmm.
professional. They got PhDs. I can't think of a. I'm not fast enough to think of a different for the word prick, ought, whatever. Uh, and then impulsive decision. So I think everybody at one point in time, maybe not as common as some people,
We
in-
all guilty of that.
yeah, impulsive. You go into oh man, that looks good. That's good. Oh, there's only one left. Yeah, okay, I'll get it. I've done that before. And then
And
as I'm walking out, they're bringing out the whole new restocking the shelf of them. I go,
and quick question: you and I have ordinary lives when we compare our lives to Elvis, right? But let's for a second just remember that the life Elvis lived was his life. There was no distinction for him to be made between his life and the person outside on the street, other than they had a difference in income and they had slightly better living uh, circumstances than the average guy on the street. But my question
you know,
is this.
Albert,
My question is this.
shit, what was I going to say now? Um, I can't remember now. Oh, Elvis, when they talk about his psychoses or whatever they want to talk about, or just with the things that we agree about Elvis, that's been Elvis since that was Elvis since probably birth. That's just how he grew up. Elvis never gave in to peer pressure in the celebrity world.
No.
He never went out partying with them. He never, he went to gala, some certain awards or things like that. But he very rarely went out and partied. The only parties he had were the ones that he held at
Mhm.
Graceland or whatever.
Yeah. And
Hey, Cam, I can't hear you. Lost you. I don't know. Let me go out and come back in. It might get you back.
can you guys hear me out there? Just throw a thumbs up in the chat if you guys can hear me out in the world of Elvis ether.
Been doing that a while. Been doing that a few times lately.
That was weird. Yeah,
But it happened. I don't know. The only way we ever found out, I found a way to fix it is I have to log out and log back in. It's the weirdest thing. I guess that's something to do with it. Anyway,
that's weird. Um, what I was gonna say was, oh yeah. Um, so the life Elvis lived was normal to his standard, right? But
right,
you and I that live a normal life according to our standard, we get bored with our lives on a daily basis.
right.
So why was it so wrong for Elvis to get bored with his?
It's just what they're doing is they're like a chicken picking, pick at that, pick at that, pick at that, and pick, and then they're just going to build these big old stories. You know,
Though
they were
jealous.
they were jealous, and so what they want to do is make it look like a bad thing for him because they couldn't do it. We didn't get to do that. So let's pick on Elvis for being impulsive shopping. Let's pick on him for having, snapping about something. There's got to be, unless you were born a corpse, everybody snaps
Yeah.
somewhere along the line. Everybody has a breaking point, and some people it's just very rare when that's reached. Some people it's all the time. I could imagine Elvis's atmosphere, and then having to deal with these guys.
Yeah, the irony is, um, giving them everything he gave, he was still in the wrong. Had he been on the opposite end of the fence, which he eventually was when he told the fuckers to get the fuck out, then he was really in the wrong. So my question to them, wherever the fuck they are,
Yeah.
is what would have been right in your opinion? Because he did one thing, he was wrong. He kicked you guys out because he was tired of your shit later, and he woke up to that and he kicked you out. He was even more wrong. So where's the middle ground? Where would Elvis have had the green light in in you guys' opinion?
Yeah.
I don't think the poor guy had a chance to begin with. No matter which way you look at him, with through the eyes of these fucking idiots, he was wrong all the time. No wonder he got to the point where he thought, "Oh well, fuck it."
Kathleen, the party's held by his entourage while Elvis was trying to get some peace in his house. Yeah. Natalie, did Elvis ever communicate to Red and Delbert for not liking Dave Hebler? No, I don't know. I'm sure it was probably just obvious, maybe by.
Exactly.
Uh,
I'm with Melissa all the way. Exactly.
Elvis told Red he didn't like Hebler during the phone. Oh, yeah. But he wasn't the reason the other two were fired. Marty guilting Elvis into bringing Esposito back really bugs me. Who was Marty to decide who Elvis?
Thank you.
These guys they think that because, first of all, they were working for the most popular person probably on the face of the earth at the time.
Hmm.
They were working for him, so they had an entitlement. They had the psychology. Let me do my psychosis on them. They felt they were entitled to what Elvis got. They felt
Hmm.
they were entitled to the same world that Elvis was in, and I don't think they ever really looked at it as a typical type of job. They just felt like I don't know. I can't get too much into that because I don't know, but it's just a totally absurd this stuff. Like I said, I haven't read this book since probably 1980 or something like that, and some of this stuff is new to me. It's actually all new to me again, and
And
I'm surprised. Well, I was at a younger age then when it came out, so I didn't look at it from the perspective of somebody who's lived a life of 60 years and gets an understanding of things like this. They used the excuse they were a family. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was trying to think of. Thank you, Melissa.
Mhm. And the irony is, uh, in my point of view, anyway, is that the times Elvis did fire these fucking idiots from time to time, unfortunately, his guilt got the better of him,
Uh-huh.
and he reneged on his decision, and he hired them back, and that's what they counted on every single time. And unfortunately, they did. They started treating him like he was nothing because they believed, oh, well, he's going to tell us one thing today, but tomorrow he'll go back on it tomorrow. So at the end of the day, why didn't they respect him for it? Because they knew that, oh, they can manipulate him and make him feel guilty. But yet they sketched a picture that Elvis manipulated them.
Yeah, Maxie, they did. They manipulated Elvis far more beyond being just accidental.
Yes.
And he was just if for out of fault he was just too nice.
Hmm.
And then and I'm sure it ate up at him, and that's when times if you would build up. And, I could just imagine if I was in that situation, which I could never put myself there mentally, and I had to look at Lamar Fike all the time after telling him to get out of my freaking house, and have to look at him. It's no wonder I'd throw freaking water on him,
all the time.
all
Yeah,
the time. Well, first of all, he was an easier target. He got to get a little bit wider. So, yeah, the, so those vultures knew about Elvis' humanity. Yeah, exactly. They took advantage of it. They read him like a book from the very beginning. They were sitting there monitoring everything. They did their tests and trials of how far they can go. There's no doubt
for
about
sure,
it. Hmm?
for sure, for sure.
Yeah. I also
They
can't stand we were there. We lived the life. Yeah. Um, the Mercedes gift. The centerpiece of the chapter is Elvis giving Dave Hebner a Mercedes. Oh my God. This is one of the most psychologically important moments in the book. The scene unfolds almost like seduction. Elvis notices Dave likes the car. He casually offers it, insists repeatedly, overwhelms Dave emotionally. No, well, that's what Dave says. I don't think Dave has a tear in his tear duct.
bullshit. He knew Elvis was going to buy him that car the moment he looked at it. He knew it. Every one of them knew it.
Kathleen. So, okay, so who had the biggest pickle?
Yeah, pretty much comes down to that. I mean, he knew that before Elvis even noticed it. He went in there with the mindset, oh no, if I'm sure if I stare at this car long enough, if I look at this house long enough, if I say something about whatever long enough, Elvis gonna feel guilty. Elvis gonna buy it from me. So yeah, let's turn up the heat real high here.
Yeah, do you think this is a thought I thought a little bit earlier? Is do you think that when they decide, hey, let's write this book, and we'll get the word to Elvis, and we'll get it all through the process, and we'll just behind the scenes they're like thinking, let's see if we can get Elvis to give our jobs back, and we'll not do the book, and it just goes away.
No,
But you don't think they ever thought that the Memphis Mafia did cross their mind? They were pissed about the jobs, and if he came back and said, "Hey, I'll give you your jobs back with a bonus and all that," those two money hungry grubs,
they
yeah,
would have taken him for more.
I don't know how they could have.
In my opinion, they would have found a way. They would have blackmailed him into more. In my opinion, they would never have. If Elvis had picked up the phone and said, "Okay, you guys can have your job back," pull the book, hell no, they would never have. They would have known. They would have turned right there and said, "Okay, guys, okay, fellas, we have him where we want him. Put in
Well,
your put in your Santa Claus wish list right here."
yeah, if Elvis was smart enough, which I felt he would, he could have, when he bought him back, he could have had a contract made. Any disclosure, this is final. That's it. They sign a contract. Anything beyond that, he could sue him.
Hmm.
That's a possibility right there too. Uh,
Exactly.
all right. So the analysis of the gift. Oh wait a minute. The scene unfolds. I can't. Okay, we read that. Analysis of the car gift. What the authors are really showing: the car is not just a car. It symbolizes power, emotional control, generosity, loyalty creation, dependency. The chapter repeatedly suggests Elvis used generosity almost like emotional currency,
Elvis
not
used.
maliciously, often impulsively and sincerely, and to some degree, but not to the extent that they're trying to make it. The gifts created gratitude, emotional attachment, loyalty, and indebtedness. So I think out of that, the only thing that Elvis would have come into thought about would be loyalty. That's all he
Hmm.
wanted for these guys was loyalty. He didn't have to. He didn't need to hear them say, what's the famous saying? Action speaks louder than words.
Hmm.
You show your thanks in different ways. Some people just have a hard time saying it, but showing it. Um, so it's one of the deepest insights in the chapter. Is what The recap is, yeah, but when O'Grady called them to offer money to not do the book and that they would pay any penalty from the publisher, the three turned the offer down. Yeah, so it did come up in a discussion. It was a thought.
And again, as I posed the question previously too, why did they never ever pick up the phone and say to others, okay, right, we need to sit down and talk to you about this thing man to man and bash it out? They never did that. Never, nor did they even try.
I don't know.
Nor did they even try. Not even in the phone call that Elvis had with Red in '76.
Yeah,
There
by
was,
by that
there was,
they passed they burnt the bridge by that time.
exactly. At that point, if Red had any loyalty or any backbone or any respect or any of whatever, he could have said to Elvis there and then, there, uh, there's some issue between us. We need to really sort this out.
Yeah,
Can we get together and talk about it man to man? Did he even propose that to Elvis? No, he didn't.
yeah.
Did any of the other two? No, they didn't. So they knew straight away the moment they got into the dealings with this book, they knew exactly what their intention was, and they knew the intention, the reaction that they got from Elvis with regard to this book is exactly what they were hoping to do. They were hoping to destroy a man that was already in the midst of, what am I doing here? What's my purpose? What's left for me? Where am I going?
Yeah, I think it was Melissa or forget who it was mentioned it. Elvis would have never talked to him anyways. He didn't like confrontation. No, he would never never have a sit down with them. So, and they probably knew that. Um, I mean, I know I've read that other times where he just would not. Yeah, it was Melissa that said that. Elvis and the need to be loved. The Mercedes story reveals something psychologically important. Elvis appears to need emotional reactions. The joy David experiences matters to Elvis. Don't we all like it when we give them something and they're? Would you rather them say, "Oh, okay, thanks," turn around, walk away, or would you rather say, "Oh man, this is awesome"? Oh, come on, they're making it look like it's a defect.
Yep.
The author repeatedly suggests Elvis enjoyed surprising people. I believe that. Rescuing people. I believe that. Overwhelming people with generosity. That was never his intention. He did it, but it wasn't his intention and never looked at it that way. You know, this may connect back to his poverty and insecurity. Okay, so what if it does? Giving become identity, emotional validation, proof of love. They're doing an analysis, a psychological analysis on Elvis from childhood when they never knew him.
Yeah. Insane.
I tell
That's
you what,
very.
we're sitting here reading this book and we're getting more and more pissed at him, and it's just like would have never thought I could get even more pissed at these three guys. Well,
Neither did I.
I think up at the scale right now, I'm probably hovering around 60% of right now. Well, no, 60%. Why am I even trying to put in percentages? I can't stand the guys. Put it.
Right now, I'd like to beat every single one of them back to life so that I can physically fucking beat them to death. That's how I feel right now. My blood is literally curdling like yogurt.
Okay, Sunflower. We'll see in a bit.
The
Hey, I
fucking
want to make another comment here, real quick, a sidetrack, just side, because one thing that's what's we really generated, and it's been very awesome. I'm saving the comments, is the awesome comments we're getting from people that are in these chats or they watch the replay. I mean, it's just not they're not comments like Hey, man, that was great. I enjoyed it. Caught the replay. Can't wait till the next one. No, these are people that really go into depth about what they like about and what we do. So I do have to stop and thank you all for that. Um, because it's encouraging to us and knows what we're doing makes it all worthwhile. So I just when I saw a couple comments and or I see a few people in here that have left some nice comments and just I love it when we see a lot of comments on these and we have it shows in our chats when we're getting 6, 7, 8, 900 people chatting in one. I was blown away the first time I saw that.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the irony is, right? Everyone's saying now that they sketch in the picture that he psychologically needed to give away stuff because it
Yeah.
validated himself to himself. Okay, right. Here's the opposite of defense. Let's for one second imagine a world where Elvis didn't give them a fucking cent. He didn't give them a penny,
Right.
right? He drove them into the ground. He made them work like fucking donkeys 24/7 and treated them like worse than whatever the hell you can think of that's worse. He would have then been labeled as selfish, arrogant, uncaring, inhuman, uh, etc., etc., etc. All of the negative verbs in the dictionary. Now he comes and he does the opposite. He brings them into his world.
Oh, you're
He pa-
welcome, Melissa.
he he pays for them to be part of that world. He makes them part of that world. He
Yeah.
pays for their every want, whim, and need. And yet he's still portrayed as an idiot for doing that. Again, where is the okay? I'm grateful for this. Uh, where is the okay? Elvis is good in my eyes here.
Ungrateful bastards. All right. We could talk about that. We could do a whole show just on that one subject. The Memphis Mafia dynamic. The chapter quietly explains how the Memphis Mafia functioned.
I'll be right back. I have to get me a cold drink.
Okay, go ahead. I know you're gonna get a shot and put it in there too. Um,
I wish I had one. If I did, I would.
yeah, I'm just drinking iced coffee. Um, the chapter quietly explains how the Memphis Mafia functioned. The entourage was not merely security, assistants, hangers on. The authors portrayed them more like emotional companions, protectors, audience, caretakers, entertainment system. The group existed partly because Elvis needed constant interaction and stimulation. Now, that right there infuriates more than anything we've talked about so far. And that's saying a lot. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to find my coffee. There it is. It's black, and I got the lights out in here. Couldn't find it. That's ridiculous. The group existed partly because Elvis needed constant interaction and stimulation. Yeah, that's why he holed himself up in his room for what they say weeks at a time. Yeah, he needed that constant attention. I think he needed more just to have privacy. Elvis, yeah, I agree, Sally. I think Elvis knew who the true people were that. And I'm sure he had hope for some of them saying, and then when, it's like with Red, I would have thought they'd been closer friends, but boy, he destroyed that. It's not, maybe that's why he was in all the fight scenes getting his ass whooped. He's upstairs asking who is downstairs, but they had to watch him 24/7. Yeah. Jeez. All right. The karate tournament incident. The Tom Parker conflict. The karate tournament promotion becomes one of the chapter's most revealing moments. A misunderstanding leads fans to believe Elvis will appear publicly at an event. Colonel Parker allegedly becomes furious because Elvis's Tahoe contract limited appearances. This section is important because it reveals how tightly Elvis's image was controlled, the business pressures surrounding him, the constant tension between Elvis' interests and Parker's management. This is the first time I'm learning about this tournament.
Mhm.
it's the whole situation. The section important because that's what I was trying to find right there. The section is important because it reveals. They're saying that basically when they say I'm going to reveal this to you, I'm giving you evidence. I'm giving you receipt. How tightly Elvis's image was controlled. Well, I think they do that with all stars. If you got a good manager, they're going to control that image.
Hmm.
The business pressures surrounding him, the constant tension between Elvis's interest and Parker's management. And tell me something right there that is any different than 90% of your, the majority of your manager artist contracts. Who else doesn't go through that? It's the same.
Exactly.
It's almost like a short notes of a contract.
Exactly. And just going to the comments, yeah, it was Sunny that said it in that television documentary. Their security skills were so high and highly polished. They could uh, they could teach the Secret Service. They could give the Secret Service a few points.
Hmm.
Yeah, right.
I could imagine.
Fuck, these guys were living in fucking La La Land. I tell you.
Uh, you know, they, in some form or fashion, they each paid in image after that. They could have very well just gone on, never said anything, and then after Elvis died, they could have just moved on forward. That book destroyed any hope of them being able to be at least favored as one of Elvis's entourage. They're the most hated,
Hmm.
I think, as a whole.
And like you said, after Elvis died, they could have gone on to do their own shit. If it wasn't for Elvis, the world wouldn't have known who the fuck they are.
Yeah, Melissa, when Elvis was defending himself, they were skirt chasing.
Yeah.
Robert was in California most of the time. What did he need him for? Yeah, it's just, yeah, furies. Yeah, they're picking apart. It's like I said at the beginning, pick, pick, pick. We're going to attack every aspect of his life. And so far they have.
Hmm.
Is there any part of his life that they haven't gotten into? I don't. The only thing I can think of is his relationship with his daughter, and I can imagine them picking at that.
Has anything been said in the book up to this point, either directly, indirectly, or inferred, that Elvis did something good for them and they're grateful for that? No.
Not those type of. It's only like mentions, like yeah, and Elvis did this, that, but it was there's no gratitude in what they're saying.
No.
All right, Ed, you have a good one. Have a great holiday. Have a great July 4th. Their flexes they did know him. So people like us that didn't get the chance now know nothing. Yeah.
Hmm.
All this weakness from a man who schedules an appointment. this is this is perfect. I need to think about this.
Yeah.
All this weakness from a man who schedules an appointment with the President of the United States, gets in and goes through this desk door for souvenirs. Give me a
Yeah.
all with a gun and ammo in a case.
Yeah.
I just wish that they'd had security cameras in those guard booths because it'd be hilarious to listen to the guy say, "There's a dude out here. He looks like Elvis. He says he's Elvis." And then it's just like, I think he might be a local drunk or impersonator or something, but he wants to see the president. I no, that's just made up. That's not real. I'm just thinking of the hilariousness of that whole situation of him driving.
Can you imagine the president's face when he like nonchalantly just goes behind the desk and opens the drawers and starts picking out shit?
And where's Secret Service? Where are they at? What are they going to do? They're either going to tackle the king of rock and roll, throw him on the ground, frisk him. That's hilarious.
I would have loved to see the president's face. I would have loved to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah, but let's see. You're
This
right.
guy.
What other celebrity has their workers speaking for them like this and still have a job?
Yeah.
Imagine working at an airport and having Elvis show up. I would have lost it. Yeah. Or what? Better yet, you get on the plane. He's in the seat in front of you, or next to you.
Yeah, for sure. Cat says if any of our fathers had done that, we'd still be talking about it. Elvis was a badass. For sure. He was for sure.
He was a badass. I mean, come on. He was a good old boy badass. He had that. He could get away with anything he wanted to. He walked into the White House. Jeez, I can't think of anything. Maybe the only other thing would be if you walked into Buckingham Palace. I'd like to see the Queen.
Walks into the White House, into the men's room, bends down your gun, goes cling cling. You got four Secret Service guys surrounding you, and you look your head and you go, "Oh, sorry." Like really?
Yeah. All right. Elvis as someone who wants normal experiences. One of the strongest hidden themes. Elvis seems to enjoy ordinary moments.
Uh,
Example: driving around at night. He did that. Hanging out in dens, joking casually, talking cars. Oh, talking about cars. Karate gatherings. But his fame makes ordinary life very impossible. Really, uh, yeah, there are lots of things on that have been photographed of Elvis driving around at night, hanging out in the dens. Oh,
he drove around in the day too.
yeah, joking casually. He joked all the time. It's all over talking cars. I'm sure he talked cars with somebody. Usually it was probably at the dealership when they're about ready to get one bought for him.
Yeah.
Karate gatherings. They're his interests. They're their likes. And you're going to tell me that, he didn't talk about that like he was restrained. It was his house. He could sit down and talk and do whatever he wanted any time. So if he wanted to do those things, he could have done it.
Hmm.
He
And
picked up, called AJ Foy, said, "Hey man, come on over. Let's let's talk racing. Let's talk about the Indy 500. Something, he could talk to, anybody would have talked to him."
geez, Vangello says she remembers reading that Elvis once overheard them saying, "What kind of mood do you think he'll be in when he comes downstairs?" Fuck me. If I had to hear shit like that, I would go downstairs and say, right, every single one of y'all fuckers get out.
Yeah,
Now you're wondering what mood I'm in?
yeah.
I'm in the get out mood. Get the fuck out. And I would have marched my ass down to Uncle Vesta at the gatehouse and said, if you let any one of these fuckers back in, you can follow them straight out the gate too.
I'm thinking too. This book, it's been known as the book that talks about Elvis being a drug addict and all this stuff and doing all these weird things. But I so far all I've seen them attack and do address is pretty much unrelated to the drugs. It's more about attacking him personally. Well,
Yes.
that's if that was the only thing that they put out there, I think Elvis would probably be pissed and say, okay, fine, who cares,
Hmm.
I guess. I don't know. I digress again. And he was probably tired of seeing them. Oh my God, wouldn't you be?
For sure.
Oh, every time if I was going downstairs, I want to get some of the kitchen. There's Lamar Fike chowing down on a half of a chicken, or something like that. It's just like I wouldn't be able to take it. Go
No.
home. Go to your house. I don't have a home. Oh, that's right. You squat, don't you?
Yeah, it's like, and the irony is, like you said earlier, no wonder he fucking locked himself upstairs at Graceland for 2, 3 weeks at a time, sometimes longer. Fuck, I would do that. But that he had to do that in his own house to get away from these fuckers? Fuck no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I would have kicked every single one of those guys out and said, fuck y'all. Get out. I
When
pay the bills here.
they say he fired them on several occasions, my guess is he didn't need them except for tours, and they couldn't get it in their head. Go home to your own family. Yeah. Like they said, when they were on tour, only their wives were married.
Hmm.
They weren't married. And you know what? Even if they weren't on tour, I think they still love that same way.
Hmm. Can you imagine eating the amount of shit that Elvis had to take for 17, 18, 19 years of his life, and then they still throw him under the bus for getting to the point where he can't take the shit no more? Fuck, how the hell he did it, I don't know. He's a better human being than I am.
Yeah,
I sure as hell wouldn't have eaten that shit for close on to 20 years
he's
the
a
way
he's a
Elvis did,
unique, rare breed. I'll tell you that.
for sure. People have been kicked out of my life for doing far less.
Guns and intimidation. The chapter ends with Elvis holding a Thompson submachine gun. This scene matters symbolically. The gun obsession is portrayed as theatrical, southern masculine. Oh, wait a second. Oh, okay, hold on. New York Times.
Sheesh. Yeah, I would have cut each and every one of them off. I would have paid them their fucking monthly salary, and that was it. All the other perks would have stopped. I would have said, right, you have 30 days. From now on, you get your monthly salary and the tour bonus, should you deserve it on tour. You will get paid X on top of your monthly salary for tour periods. But as of today, you are responsible for your own housing, your own medical, your own ABCXYZ.
You
You
imagine
get
how much money Elvis would have saved if
fuck.
he did that? Just paid him straight out, right? A normal, standard union type of pricing pay, and
Yes.
and then everything else beyond that is on your own. You get a per diem when we travel for
Yeah.
food. You get a room. That's
Yeah.
it. I'm not paying for anything else, and and that's the way it is with acts these days. That
Yeah. You're gone. Can you guys hear me? Because I can't hear Rick. Can you guys hear Rick? Rick's gone again. Okay, so you guys can hear me fine. Okay. Hey, Amy, you still here? How's your foot? I hope your foot's doing better. I would send you mine, but it won't reach you in time. Hey, Patty. Yeah, today's that's good. Yeah, this episode is a little bit of a hairy one for me. I wasn't expecting it to be this hot, but
There we go.
yeah, there we go.
I don't know why it does that. That's freaking weird. It's really weird. Let me get that back up. So anyway,
Okay,
there's that
drive
thought.
drive safe, Amy.
Back on the road, but I'm listening. All right, Amy. Yeah, be careful. Have we'll chat soon. Um, anyway,
Okay, you were saying I must. about 90% of what you were saying. I
Okay,
think everybody else did
I
too.
forgot about 90% of what I was saying.
Oh no.
I don't know what we were talking about. Oh, the guns. We're on guns and intimidation. Uh,
Yeah.
the scene matters symbolically. The gun obsession is portrayed as theatrical, southern masculine, paranoid, exciting, emotionally charged. The authors repeatedly connect Elvis' fascination with guns to power, control, insecurity, emotional intensity. The weapon becomes part of the king's persona. Give
Crap, it was
me a
a break. Yeah, it was his hobby.
he could have it was his hobby. My dad was the same way. I'm the same way. I don't have as many as he did. I don't have my dad and I. We had quite a few between us, but it was a hobby. I'd go up to his land, 40 acres of land. We'd go out and we'd just shoot. It's a release. It's a hobby. Some people golf. Some people, run.
Collect stamps.
Some people walk around walking their dogs. It's just different types of things that people do. So I was like guns. Did it affect anything? Did it bring anything negative to him while he was alive? No. I don't think anybody ever died from a bullet wound.
No.
What are you laughing about?
No, you just saying some people play cards, other people walk their dogs.
Maybe I better do this again.
We can't hear. You dropped out your mixer. It threw you out of the mixer.
Oh, jeez. All right, forget it. I don't know.
I can hear exactly when your mixer goes out.
Jeez. Okay, that must mean I got a bad short.
Yeah, now you're going all together. Yeah, yeah. No sound. There we go. You're back. That's because you're not on the screen yet. Hold up. Rick's got no sound again. He's got a bad short. Just give him time. He's popping out. His mixer's got a bad short, so it's been fucking around with his sound the whole night. If I knew how to bring you into the picture, I would try. Okay, wait. Maybe this is my opportunity. Maybe to add to scene. Let's do that. There we go. Hey, it's not as difficult as I thought. How are you doing, buddy?
Well, I got a lot of shit to edit, don't I?
Uh huh.
Are we on air?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're live.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, everybody.
They missed me too, I can tell.
Okay,
Every
Mm-hmm.
time they said a thing. Wow.
what the heck's up with the screen? Oh,
I
yeah, you
yeah
talk.
I threw Joe in there.
Okay, thanks. Okay, that's better.
I've been
Yeah, yeah. Now you're coming through the mixer good and clear.
yeah, I've been talking to Amy on her trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. She says it's long and boring, and her cat is no, her dog is sleeping behind her neck
Oh, that's cool.
while she's driving. That's not easy.
Yeah.
Gets to your neck. Meat and fry.
All right, this is an interesting live today, guys. So,
I nearly said something, but no.
Something about a pickle.
No.
What?
all right, so who we have anybody left here? Melissa, what's something that? Karen,
I'll leave that one to Amy. She can figure that one out.
what's that?
No, I was going to say something, but I
Oh,
rather won't.
all right. So, all right, important psychological insight. Oh boy,
Here we
one
go
of
for the Dr. Phil spin again.
Yeah, this is round 15. One of the chapter's deepest ideas appears when Red says he sometimes believed Elvis possessed something special or almost supernatural emotionally. This is important because it reveals the Memphis Mafia themselves partly lived under Elvis's spell. They were not merely employees. They often genuinely believed Elvis was extraordinary, emotionally unique, larger than life. This explains why leaving Elvis's world became psychologically difficult for many insiders.
Oh crap, psychologically difficult.
Um,
They didn't want to let go of the money he was spending on them. That's the only reason why they wouldn't get the fuck out of that.
There, get rid of that one. Okay, can you hit the disclaimer now?
This is all for entertainment purposes only. Our comments are our opinions only. We
You could hear it.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, the asshole was doing it as if something was on me.
Hey, I got a new sound effect here, Joe.
Go for it.
I, I am not a researcher. I am a human being. All right, let's get back to the book. Reliability analysis. Strongest elements, the strongest parts, atmosphere, celebrity psychology, entourage dynamics, boredom theme, emotional dependency patterns, generosity stories. These these themes align with many independent Elvis accounts. So are they talking about Elvis or are they talking about them on those?
I don't know. I was kind of thinking the same thing. Will you stop looking at me? I got something coming out of my nose or what?
Who's looking at you?
He is. He just keeps.
Who?
Ooh.
Okay, I'll do this.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Is
All
he
right.
high? Wow, mine.
All right. The weakest elements, the weakest aspects, reconstructed conversations, exaggerated drama. Yep. Romanticized myth making. Yep. Occasional tabloid exaggeration. Steve Dudley's influence remains very visible. Thank you.
Hmm.
You got a guy who writes for the National Enquirer, and you want not the word right reliability. You want um I don't know what it is.
Objective journalism.
Yeah, somebody that wants to get to the truth of things, and instead of taking it and then romanticizing it, dirtying it up, headline, for lack of a better term, because this is the '70s, clickbait.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Clickbait was that's the National Choir is probably the forerunner of clickbait. Everybody sees the title. I know you remember this, Joe. Anytime you went to a grocery store and you stood in line with your groceries, and this whole freaking rack of clickbait articles, Elvis's secret child, or and the National Choir came out. Whenever that's out, it's got some kind of oddball. Elvis's mother comes to him every night. Stuff like that. What
Elvis is an
bullshit.
alien.
Yeah, and then you get in there and read the stuff,
And I do remember that.
and then and then of course we get to the end. And when I was younger, it was Mad Magazine. And I pull that sucker and buy every one of them. Those were some of the best magazines. They were fun, and you knew they were satire.
Hmm.
The real message of chapter 7. This chapter is fundamentally about charisma as power, generosity as emotional control, boredom as danger, celebrity isolation, loyalty through dependency. I don't think Elvis used his charisma to get things.
And again, on what side of the fence is that word dependency? It's definitely not from Elvis's side. He didn't depend on them for shit.
Right.
Well,
Yes, they all serious like they have. Yeah. That's a good point. The way the way they've acted afterwards, it's almost like they got PTSD.
Hmm.
It's so stupid. I can't stand it. She says, "What did actually? What? Yeah, what did Elvis actually get?"
Hmm.
Companion.
Besides, besides,
Companionship.
se- besides 17 years of shit.
Yeah,
That's the way I see it.
yeah.
You think companionship?
I don't. As a whole, with
No,
the majority of them, no. I, I
no.
I don't think Red, Sonny, and Dave were. I think the only companions that he out of that whole group that he probably considered doing things with, or being able to sit down and talk at that time, would be Jerry Schilling. He's the one he nabbed to go to, Nixon,
Billy.
um,
Billy.
and Charlie Hodge maybe. I don't know if yeah, Billy. Um, you know, I know that Charlie Hodge and Elvis were close, when it comes, in the army and all that. But I don't picture him and Charlie being one of those ones that just sat around and have had a chat with just between the two. I could picture it with Jerry, and I could picture it with who else did we say? Oh, Billy,
Mm.
Max, said they weren't companions; they were
and he
legions.
just yep,
My
absolutely.
on, my honest opinion, I think the only companionship Elvis really got was from his animals, from his horses and from his dogs.
Yeah. Well, the only ones, yeah, that they never got. He didn't get flack.
Hmm.
They loved him, and that's the thing about animals.
Hmm.
They have unconditional love. You
Yeah.
treat them right, man, they'll be there for you until the day you die or they die. He consumed emotional space around them. People entered his orbit and admired him, depended on him, protected him. Um, People entered his orbit. I
Hmm.
guess he's talking about his circle.
Hmm.
Who did he admire out of that group? Who did he really depend on in that group that he couldn't have just said, the
Not one,
they
in
wanna
my
make it
opinion.
look like Elvis could do nothing unless they were around. Yep,
Exactly.
but then they'll bring up the fact or they contradict themselves where they say Elvis holds up in his room for 2, 3 months.
Hmm.
If a guy's so dependent on somebody, they can't do that.
Hmm.
There's kind of a small feeling of paranoia there,
To,
and
Hmm.
Elvis was not paranoid at
no,
any
No.
to me, it's get out of my freaking face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are the
That's what
stories
happens.
Melissa says, "Where are the stories of Elvis saying he needed them?"
Hmm.
Oh, there isn't any out like that. But there's plenty of stories of them wanting to come back and needing Elvis. Yeah, because
Hmm.
he didn't have a right to die. Just
Exactly. And if he needed them as these bozos make out, he needed them so bad. Why did he have the rule, the standing rule that nobody was allowed upstairs unless Elvis called them up there?
Hmm.
yeah.
He wanted them
If
out of his face.
if yeah, I'm with you 100%, Joe. If he needed them as much as they make out he needed them, then there wouldn't have been. Then I almost want to go as far as to say, if that were really truthfully the case, Elvis would still be alive today.
Now here's two more lines under this when they enter the orbit that's going to piss you off. It pisses me off. They excused him and they emotionally revolved around him.
They excused him.
They let him get away with shit. They let him get away with shit and said that's cool. Is that what they're trying to say?
I would say, yeah, when
Yeah.
he would blow up at him or anything, they just excused him. Whether he said he was sorry or not, they just, and we all know the reason why they would do that is because they need that freaking paycheck.
Hmm.
They need that, they'll know that they will lose their whatever he pays for. They'll lose it all.
Yeah.
Whether he pays for the rent or whether he bought him a house or whatever.
Wow.
You
I
know,
need that new car. I need that new car.
yeah.
Hmm.
And Marty's saying his family couldn't eat a car. Well, F and sell it. Bingo.
Ex- exactly.
Excellent point. And
I'll never.
Exactly.
I will never forget that when he said that.
yeah,
You know, the irony is, and you know, it's gonna seem a bit way over the edge there, but that's how I see it. That's how infuriated about the whole situation I get. These guys didn't even pay for the fucking toilet paper they used on a daily basis.
Hmm.
But yet they want to come with a fucking goal to say that when Elvis gets to 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, 12 years, 14 years of eating up the shit, and God forbid he's had enough of it and he flies off the handle, they turn around and go, "Oh, he's just angry. It's because of the drugs. We excuse him." Fuck off.
And then they wonder afterwards why they're not involved. They can't be involved with Elvis Week and things like that. Dave,
Yeah, yeah,
I don't think they thought it was going to last this long.
right.
no,
Uh,
no,
Yeah.
yeah, they didn't count on Lisa either.
Hmm.
no. I'm with you, Joe. I think the worst case scenario thought that by 1980, Elvis would be dead and gone and forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elvis had a bad
So
drug
let's make
addiction.
money while we can.
Are you stating that as fact, or are you just saying that's what they said? Grant,
You know,
Grant.
um, again, that's why I love Lisa even more now. Wherever she is, I fucking
Yeah.
support your decisions
Yeah.
110%. Lisa Marie Presley, thank God you put down your foot and said, fuck those guys. They're not coming anywhere near
Yeah.
anything to do with my father.
And when she read this stuff, and I don't, it's no wonder the anger. And then we can understand the other, even people after that. We
Hmm.
know who we're talking about. People that aren't allowed to go there.
Hmm.
And Lisa,
Shame if they kept their shit together and didn't say, "Look at them, look at me," like, if they kept their shit together and their mouth shut,
yeah,
they'd be at Elvis Week and people would
yeah,
be able to talk to them.
yeah.
Hmm.
But like we said, they had
They could sell
no
their
idea
books. They
that in
could sell their time. Yeah,
2026 that we'd still be celebrating his life.
yeah,
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, they weren't smart enough to think about that. Final analysis of Chapter 7. Chapter 7 may be the most psychologically revealing chapter so far because it stops presenting Elvis simply as tragic, insecure, drug dependent, and instead shows him as emotionally overwhelming, deeply charismatic, impulsively generous, dangerously insulated, capable of making people feel chosen. The haunting implication of the chapter is this: Elvis was not only trapped by fame, he was unconsciously trapped. He also unconsciously trapped other people inside his emotional universe. What an evil man!
Jesus.
Let's read that part again. So it says,
Yeah.
presenting Elvis simply as tragic, insecure, the drug dependent, which overall they do as an overall point. Then when you bury getting into it, instead they show him as emotionally overwhelming, deeply charismatic, impulsively generous, dangerously insulated, capable of making people feel chosen. They take the qualities he has of those and blows them up like it's almost like they're addicted to it or they're way out of control on it. Um,
Mhm.
Elvis. I don't see Elvis as emotionally overwhelming,
No, I don't
deep,
either.
deeply charismatic. I have to say, yeah.
Mhm.
Impulsively generous. I don't think he did generosity completely off impulsiveness, but he did do that. And why put it down as a negative? Dangerously insulated. What does that fucking mean?
They're pulling anything out of their ass to put in the book. It sounds like,
Yeah.
using his good points against him. Some of his good points against him.
The haunting implication of the chapter is this: Elvis not only is trapped by fame, but he unconsciously trapped other people inside his emotional universe. No, if people got trapped in that universe, it was because of their emotional problems, not because of Elvis.
You know
Yeah.
what you do when you get trapped? You freaking leave.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Get out. Just get the hell out if you're physically trapped.
yeah.
Well,
Exactly. Exact. Exactly. Leads me to the next question. Did Elvis ever walk up to any one of those bozos in the group and say, "Oh, you want to leave? Fuck you. You're not going to leave." Did he ever do that?
Really?
No.
No.
I know. Craziness. So everything's Elvis's fault. That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's all Elvis. Elvis did it. It's because
And isn't that how it wound up with Sonny at the end? It was
Hmm.
Elvis's fault in that interview that we listened to him.
Yeah.
It's basically it's Elvis's fault.
yeah,
Unbelievable.
After all that, 20 years of living with the guy,
yeah.
literally living off the guy, and they come back with the goal to do that. Like, what the fuck?
Do
Piece
you
of
think they
shit.
were trying to come up with something? And a lot of the other ones did the same thing. You think they came up with negatives so they had something to talk about?
It sells. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
We were talking about that earlier.
Oh, really?
No, well,
Bullshit sells.
I think weren't you in on it when we talk about clickbait? That was just their
Yeah.
ways. You know, back then they would say, "Oh, they would give you little teasers, the clickbait of, oh, and then people want to get into that book and get to that point and find out what it's all about." And that they all did that. That's how they got their book sales.
Yeah.
Priscilla of all of them, it was the worst because of the way they marketed that book. The all tell all. What was it like? What was it really like from the person that lived it?
Natalie says, that is what I have said. If it was so bad and it was such a burden, then fucking leave.
Yeah.
It's like when people come on here and they leave comments and it's all negative. Well, why do you do this? Why do you do that? I go, do you not like it? No. I go, well then, bye.
Bye. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm with Melissa on that one. There's not one person in the group, with the exception to Lisa Marie, that I don't question now. The only person that I don't question is Lisa. The
Yep.
rest of them, I question every single one of them.
yeah. It,
And you know what? Here it is, 50 years, almost 50 years after he died, and there are still people that are connected to Elvis by blood or however that that's still out there that you've got to,
Picking the caucus.
yeah, you got to understand, yeah, they're picking, yeah,
yeah,
that's the perfect analogy right there. They're picking
absolutely.
the carcass.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
won't come out and they won't come out and dispel the bullshit that's been spoken about Elvis. Oh no, they won't. They'll just add to it.
Yeah, you're right, Cat. They were not leaving their honey hole. Yeah,
No, no.
wow.
I mean, that explains why Lamar fucking stuck around and squatted for 20 years. He came from a fucking hellhole. Do you honestly think any guy that comes from that kind of existence all of a sudden falls with his balls and his ass into a honey jar, he's going to leave out a choice? No.
he might have seen that Elvis was a good person and didn't have the heart or to really make him leave. And he knew, hey, I could stay here and I could
You
use
know,
this guy.
the whole time that they were working for Elvis was during the time that we had the biggest explosion of music. During the 60s and 70s. I mean, it just was, there were bands coming everywhere. These guys could have easily, if they didn't like what they were doing, could have easily found an even better paying job or more conducive to what they were bitching about.
Yeah.
And then if, and they could use the name of Elvis to say, I'm working for Elvis now. That would, people would double look and say, his resume would go almost to the top.
Oh, sure.
And they didn't take advantage of that because you know why? Because no matter how much they got paid, they still had all those guys would never buy him a car,
Hmm.
but they knew
Yeah.
with Elvis that they could get everything beyond the normal living and all it was greed. They didn't give a shit about that man,
No,
not
they didn't.
whatsoever.
That's what we were saying earlier too, Joe.
Yeah, never.
To add on to your remark about Lamar, that's what I said earlier about fuck not Hebler with the car. They were talking about when Elvis bought him a car. He fucking knew exactly how to manipulate Elvis. They all did. They all knew, oh well, if I stare at this TV long enough,
Yeah.
or if I pout about this car long enough, Elvis gonna see it and he's gonna buy it for me. So let's just wangle him up. And that's exactly what Lamar did. That's how Lamar stayed at Graceland for fucking 21 years. He knew in the back of his little squidgy ass, lord ass brain that, oh no, Elvis don't have the heart to get rid of me. I'm just gonna pout. I'm just gonna remind him that I don't have anywhere to. He fucking knew it,
You
and
know,
unfortunately, that's what Rick said. Unfortunately, Elvis was just inherently too much of a good person.
Yeah.
yeah, Cam, we'll have to have a discussion because you really need to start telling us how you really feel.
Really, you're keeping it back, and we can see it. You know.
No, seriously, you hit everything. You hit it right on the.
Yeah.
There was something somebody said here. I want to read it real quick. Um, yeah, they cared Melissa. They cared. It was them and the money. It wasn't Elvis. Elvis didn't even come in their list. They wouldn't have access to beautiful women. They wouldn't, they
Yeah,
wouldn't be able to be single on the road anymore. Lamar Whiting, Elvis would buy them expensive cars because if it broke, they'd have to pay for an expensive part. What? What?
what's that? I missed that. I
Okay.
was I was reading the
Lamar was
chat. Sorry.
whining Elvis would buy them expensive cars because if it broke, they'd have to pay for an expensive part. Well, you know what? If I got an expensive car from Elvis, like a Mercedes, and I got it for free, I will be glad to pay for the expensive part to fix something.
Yeah, then you fucking save some of your tour bonuses that you guys got every single fucking tour.
Yeah.
You really do have to calm down. You're gonna break a blood vessel. You got to calm down.
These guys just fucking seriously. The sad thing is that nobody will stand up, not in his family, living or dead, will stand up and say no.
Okay, thanks.
Elvis was badly treated. Nobody will do it. But yet, when people like us come and we try to do it, to somehow restore this guy's honor as a human being, we get labeled all sorts of, and that's fine. People can label me all the fuck they want. But my point of contention is this: there are still family members of Elvis alive and around. They know 90% of the bullshit that's out there about Elvis is exactly that bullshit. Why don't they stand up for him if they so much care for him and love him and see his legacy go forth as he lived his life? Why don't they stand up and defend that legacy truthfully, honestly, and with integrity?
That's why I can't
Because
see.
Is
I'm
that
sorry. I'm sorry, dude.
why? Because they all still picking at the dead carcass.
Uh,
That's why.
I don't understand why some people can't see that we are defending Elvis.
yeah.
That's what we do. I don't understand why anybody would say that we're doing anything other than that.
Well, you got to consider the source. That's why. Um, these the comments that we get from people that actually watch us
Hmm.
are incredible. They're
Yeah.
beautiful. They really show the support and tell us what they really like about what we do, Joe, and
Mhm.
they love it. They love what we're doing with these books because we're not just flying through. We've been averaging one chapter a week, but I'd rather do that and get a good in depth story than just kind of flip over a page here, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit, and be done with it for one show. You know, uh,
See, I feel lately that because of watching things, uh, that why would you have anything to do with this Memphis Mafia person and this Memphis Mafia person? Almost as because if I interview them or have interviewed them, then I'm not defending and or taking care of Elvis. They don't realize that
it's
it's
ridiculous.
history, good and or bad. It's history of Elvis. You don't have to like it.
Yeah,
You know, you
yeah,
Yeah.
you
yeah.
can
Yep.
turn your back on it and say, "All right, I don't like this." You
Mm.
know,
But
you don't do
but that, but that's the thing, Joe. You've been in that position where you've spoken to these guys and you've used your own healthy brain to figure out, okay, this is a bunch of lies, this is the truth, this could be possible, this couldn't. You've still weighed up. You haven't just sat back and eaten everything like a fucking force-fed chicken that and been made to believe that whatever you've been told by this so-called insider, whether it be a Memphis Mafia dude or whoever the hell they would want to call themselves, you've been able to sit back and go, okay, this I agree with, this is absolute bullshit. Uh, That's the difference, and that's important. When you're able to look at a situation or be part of a conversation and ask these kind of questions and figure out the shit for yourself and take what works for you and reject what doesn't, that's a good conversation. But when you sitting back and you listening to these people talk as they have over the years,
Mhm.
like there's some uh, mystical figure that whatever comes out of the mouth is not allowed to be challenged because,
Mhm.
oh, quote unquote, we loved it. No bullshit. I'm going to challenge you. And that's exactly what's happening in this book. Not one thing have they mentioned in good favor towards Elvis.
Yeah.
Not once in the 7 chapters that we have now dealt with has any comment come out sincerely and said, shit, when Elvis found us, we were nothing but trash in the gutter.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Elvis, we wouldn't be who we are today. And for that, we immensely grateful.
Yeah.
Has any one of them ever done that? No.
Vangelo just sent this to me. It's from the book. It looks like it's from the Memphis Mafia book. Lamar Fike. If Elvis gave you stuff, he didn't care what you did with it afterwards. Like if he gave you a car and you sold it, he figured that was a way of getting you money without really going into it. A lot of us sold the cars and made extra money. He would buy us these cars that were so expensive we couldn't afford them. We had to sell them. The last car he gave me in the 70s sometime was a pale blue 600 Mercedes, oof, a four-door sedan that had actually been his. It had his name on the title. One time I had to replace one part on it, and it was something like $1,000. And at 365 a week and a few bonuses, you can't do that too many times. I sold that car for nearly $35,000, which at the time was a lot of money. I have to figure that out. An airplane captain bought it. I heard he sold it for a half a million, and then I saw it for sale the other day for 2.3 million. I sold, boy, that's pretty good, but I made a profit. I gave Elvis $1 for it. What a freaking
What a
dick.
dick.
Jesus.
How can people? I'm sorry. See, I don't have anything like that in my heart to do that. I just don't. Gee,
Thank you, Vigil. That's
yeah, that was cool.
yeah, Lamar Fike.
Oh my.
Unbelievable. Okay, so okay, that's got my curiosity up. I don't know why I forgot. $35,000. Let's just say it was 1976.
I'm
Um,
gonna I'm gonna say this what I said the other night. The best part of Lamar fight ran down his father's leg.
35, one,
All
two,
his
three.
brothers and sisters.
What a fucking waste of air that guy was.
Okay, you got this. That today that $35,000 is equal to $204,000. That's how much he got for selling a car that he didn't pay for.
Yeah, yeah.
He gave him only the dollar, which would transfer the title.
And then it's not enough. It's not
If
enough.
if I were Elvis, I would have laughed at him and said, "You know what? You need the dollar more than I do. Keep it."
I could just see these guys going, "What am I going to do with my life?" And then Elvis comes along. He says, "You say." They say, "He'll pay for my life."
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. Where's my mouse?
And then he dies, and then these fuckers go, "Oh, he had no right to die." But how many of these fuckers made lives after he died because, oh, we loved Elvis? How many of these fuckers went out and spoke
Yeah.
at conventions thousands of times a year and spewed shit? where the people paid their hard-earned money to hear supposed truths about Elvis's life and what it was like to live with Elvis. These people embellished bullshit lies,
Hmm.
and they still sat back and they took these people's hard-earned money,
Yeah.
and yet they had the balls and the gall to complain about it after the fact.
Can I say one quick thing, Rick?
Well, of course you can.
Uh, just so everybody knows, we are not promoting this book. We are not saying to
Oh,
people this
thank you.
is a good
No.
book. It's not. We're being negative against it.
Yeah.
You know, I can't say.
You know, the thing is the people that are saying that we're promoting it are the people that aren't watching the video we're doing on it to realize we're not promoting it. You know,
Yeah.
we're explaining, we're getting an understanding. We're just reviewing the nastiness of these guys.
And we're not
They
That's
agreeing
a
with
good
it.
point. Very good point, Joe. Thanks.
And we're not agreeing with it.
No, those people that say we promoting the book, they doing exactly what 90% of the people in the Elvis world have done over the years. They cut and paste parts of a discussion, parts of a program,
Yeah,
parts of a thesis, parts of a book. They cut and paste to suit their own narrative. And if you think that I'm promoting the book, but you haven't taken the time to go back and look at our previous shows and previous discussions about the book, if you think I'm promoting the book, that's your problem. And I'm grateful that you have that point of view. I'm not going to waste my time to try and convince you otherwise. I know what I'm doing, as my two colleagues and everybody else involved in our channel knows. But if you guys think we're doing anything different, that's your opinion and you're entitled to that
yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
Hey,
We don't berate or try to embarrass people who have different opinions. We encourage the different opinions. We want
hi,
that,
Emma.
and that's why. Hey, Emma. Uh,
Nice to see you.
yeah, we promote this kind of conversation that we have here, and it's. I think that's why people like getting in this chat because they don't feel like they're scared to put their thoughts down. They might it doesn't happen here.
Yes, thank you, Maxi.
Shouldn't
Maxi hit
Oh,
the nail on the head.
perfect.
it shouldn't happen anywhere.
Right.
No,
Oh, yeah. Shouldn't, but it does, and we're proud of the fact that we're not a hate channel. Everything we do is a positive for Elvis. We address things of hate, but we don't,
Sure.
and then this channel very, very rarely does anything involving Priscilla. As far as we used to do some during the lawsuit stuff in the book, but we don't anymore. That's for somebody else to do, and because we're accused of being an Priscilla lovers channel.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, but you know what? These are people that've never watched the channel, and I laugh. I just laugh. So, but like I said earlier when we were talking, um, the comments that we've really gotten an increase in comments that are so positive from everybody, and I'm thinking about doing like a little promo video for the Elvis Network and sharing some of the comments. I'll bar out the names, though they're on the internet anyway. So, um, if you have an issue with me showing the name, I just want to. I think it'd be better if I just bar out the names. But the comments are great. They're just. If you're fine with it, just email me. Um,
You
or
know,
you know,
you know what's another good thing about all of this family? I mean, the people that come all the time as well is we can talk, and one of us can disagree,
yeah,
and it's okay. And the other three say, okay,
yeah.
that's your opinion, even if it's wrong. But that's
And,
okay here.
and trust me, we three have different opinions on quite a few. I would say quite a few, but we do come across it often. It's not a rare thing, and the nice thing about it, like Joe's saying, we can talk about it, and at the end of it, we say, okay, let's move on. We all agree to disagree.
you
Yeah.
know, at the end of the day, for the people that have that are only just discovering us now, basically what we do is, excuse the analogy, but it's the easiest way to explain my point. We put the food on the table, but it's up to you guys that
Yeah.
listen to us. It's up to you what you put in your own plate to consume.
Hmm.
If you guys don't like the food that's on the table, then that's okay. Go to another restaurant.
But what's nice is they serve some food back with their comments.
Yeah,
And it's such a
and
it's almost like what do they call it? Uh, potluck of
yeah,
information.
a lot of the times, you guys in the comments, when we have differences of opinions, you guys will mention something, and then I'll get to thinking about it, and I'll go,
It's true.
yeah, maybe
Yeah.
maybe I can change my viewpoints on that, or I'm willing to concede a little bit here, give a little bit there, take,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's
and
fine.
that
Family, all of
Yeah,
it.
it, yeah, it's called constructive debating.
Right.
yeah.
But when you have to force feed your opinion down somebody's throat, that's not having a discussion or having a debate. That's just being a downright idiot. That's
Yeah.
just being a bully.
Yeah.
And nothing constructive comes from that. And that's exactly what we're trying to do here. We're putting what we know that's out there, that's common knowledge, and we're saying not only do we disagree with what's being said, but here are the receipts. We are showing you guys. Uh, don't take everything from somebody just because they were in Elvis's world as the gospel.
Oh, sure. God.
Yeah.
You know,
God, no.
Yeah.
think about it. Uh, Figure things out, because as we have shown many times, in one interview one guy will say another thing, but
Yeah.
oh wait,
Mhm.
5 years, 10 years down the line, they say something different. And the best part is those guys have forgotten that they said something contrary 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 20 books ago. And then it's for us to go, but hang on, here you say this, there you say that. Where's the truth? You, as the viewer or listener, it's up to you to go and find whatever that truth is for you.
Well, that's what's great about the book Decoded is because they give you the different sides of the story, and at the end of it, they'll most of it we know what the real thing is. There will be
Yeah,
some things in there that'll be just that's the most obvious thing. Is it a fact? We can't go swear by, it, but it's the most obvious conclusion we can come to, and
exactly.
that's going to happen. It's always going to happen. But it's fun doing the discussion to get to those points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's what's going to be fun about the Blanchard Tool series. It's going to be in depth, so it's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to that. And plus, I do have some more coming up from our favorite first cousin.
Oh,
Update. It'll be an update. So anyway, I'm very lucky today because my channel was not supposed to be available anymore. It was supposed to have been deleted yesterday. So
did
I
they?
woke up this morning extremely surprised that when I flipped it on, it popped open to my channel, and I'm like, my wish came true.
be good now.
I'm being very good. No names have been mentioned, but I've got strikes coming. There were no strikes. My channel will more likely be deleted, and I was like, Mama, hey Laurie, can you bring me a tranquilizer, please?
When I turned on my computer, I wasn't sure if y'all going to be here.
Yeah, yeah. It's freaking ridiculous. He said that I got all kinds of videos him telling me you've got 7 strikes coming. You got this. I,
Yeah.
I've never gotten a strike from him ever. He's never hit me with a strike. The only one was Donna, and I'm sure Karen's resenting that to this day.
Yeah, but people don't realize that they hear him and then they believe him.
Oh yeah, they automatically believe it because he's convincing. He is an excellent, extremely perfectionist at lying and being convincing to people that have part soy as brains. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's enough for that subject. I'll give him 3 or 4 more videos for the week. Um,
But just to get back to earlier, yes, I must admit, yes, I do feel better than I did earlier before. And the only reason why I felt the way I felt was that it just pains me beyond a healthy expression that Elvis did so much for so many people
Mhm.
in his life, and he still does. But yet nobody comes to the party for him to defend him truthfully, honestly, and with gratitude.
Yeah.
They still will do everything in their power to destroy
Mhm.
the good that Elvis still puts into the world nearly 50 years after he left this world. And that to me is it's not only sad, but it's unfair. It's
It's
an
so bittersweet. It's just,
it
he's adored by millions of people, maybe close to 1,000,000,000 or so people that still adore the man with the new
yeah,
generations, but it's so it comes with a price,
yeah,
unfortunately, and it comes with the price of the people that go after him because, well, first of all, we're in a whole new decade and an actual whole new century, so the perspective, it's the same thing. They hear these things, they don't that's the word, that's the sign language, that's the sign for research.
Uh-huh.
They don't look into it.
yeah,
They just accept it as gospel, and then they, "Oh, he's racist, he hated black people." Um, and I'm not even gonna say it, but it's a P word, it's just it's ridiculous, and, that's why I like doing what I'm doing. I'm not gonna whatever. I'm not That's what I'm doing. I'm having discussions about things, and in my perspective, this is what I call it, we're protecting his legacy.
yeah,
We're
That's
doing
fun. Yeah.
we discuss these things, uh, and we discuss them like we do, like somebody said earlier, and thank you for saying that, like adults. We
yeah.
have our fun, we joke around, but you know what? That's part of life, and to sound kind of like I'm kissing ass. That's the same personality Elvis had. So I'd like to kind of exhibit some of the qualities that Elvis had. He liked to joke around and have fun, and we put it in there. And
Yeah.
it just kind of lightens up some of the subjects now and then.
I always try to do this with any situation, and I implore anybody in the Elvis world that thinks differently to what we think or how we feel.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Put yourself put yourself in Elvis's shoes as a human being. Forget about him as an entertainer. Put yourself in his shoes as a human being and go ask yourself the following question. If I was in Elvis's position,
Mhm.
would I have made the same decisions and probably the same mistakes? And if you come to the answer no, then you're bullshitting yourself.
Yeah.
Because I will guarantee, I will go as far as to say, I will put the last one on the table and say, if I was in his position, faced with what he had to go through in his life, the chances of me making even worse mistakes and coming far off worse than he did are 99.99999%.
You
And
know, like,
therefore,
go
I,
ahead.
I cannot judge and say he was wrong because I know if I was in that situation, I would have fucked up way worse than anybody could have. So
You,
for anybody to sit out there and go, oh no, but Elvis should have acted different and Elvis knew what was right. No, he was a human being living an extraordinary life that he himself could not navigate.
There's something that we have that I might be patting myself on the back, but that I don't really see in some of the other discussions of books, what I've seen in deep dives. And there's just a few channels. We approach everything with a common sense. We
Hmm.
don't approach it as it's a fantastical or look at it as some kind of big story. We approach it in common sense that there's no way that could have happened type of deal.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
There's things that point out. It's like I say the same thing over again. It's about when Demar Fike tells the story about him and Elvis riding a motorcycle together. Common sense to anybody.
No, dude, that's impossible. Yeah,
Impossible. It is absolutely physically impossible for him and Elvis to ride their motorcycles side by side and each one holding the other's accelerator.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
they're
one
riding big
person, the
Harleys.
one on the right could hold the accelerator with his left hand, but how in the hell is the other guy going to get his arm all the way across the motorcycle and drive and run the accelerator?
Yeah.
Did he even have a motorcycle?
Yeah,
Lamar.
remember he bought all those motorcycles out in L.A. He brought them all in. What were they, Hondas or
Mm.
Harleys or
I
something
bought
like?
Harleys, yeah.
Yeah, he bought them all, like 20 of them or something. And he gave them to some other kid that was looking around too.
Yeah.
But is
He
it,
bought one
so
for the
Lamar
kids. So.
tells the story that when they got those, I think it was around that time that they got on, and him and Elvis went down the road doing that. Bullshit! It can't happen. It
Right.
just it just can't happen.
What we
It's
do.
like me getting in the trunk of a car while my wife's driving, and me just reaching my arm all the way through the trunk to the wall, all the way back seat and driving. It's a goal.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yet there's people out there that as soon as you put Elvis's name into the story, it's like common sense
Yeah.
goes straight
Out
out the
the
door.
window.
It's like,
Yeah.
If he was Stretch Armstrong and he could just pull that arm. You remember that freaking thing, Stretch
Hell
Armstrong?
yeah. No, I had one pop on me.
I did too.
What a mess.
I wanted to see how far it would go, and I did.
See
And
now in the I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, you're right. All that shit came out of it, and my mom said,
What
"You
happened?
just put that carpet down." We got it all cleaned out, but it was just disgusting.
You see, I don't want to go back to it, but it seems like in the last 20 minutes we were defending Elvis.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're just I think we're just pointing out what I feel is the obvious on a lot of this stuff. And as you go more further and further, it's almost like the theme has been they're psychoanalyzing Elvis. They're trying to get into his head and explain, who he was. You can't do that. The
can't
only
do that.
person that would ever do that doesn't live anymore.
No.
Because
And
nobody could explain. I don't care how close you were. Maybe he was his mom, and of course Lisa. I don't want to say this because she's too young, but she would never got to that age where they could have those type of discussions. But you know, to anybody that where he actually expressed his deepest feelings about things. I
I
don't.
don't think I don't think he had anybody outside of his mama.
I think his mom would have been the last one, but it would have been interesting to be able to have him write down a book and from his perspective of that 20 some years of or
Yeah.
longer it would be if he could have been around to write a book. There's just so many what ifs I always get. What if this? What if he did that? What if Parker recorded this? What if
Yeah.
on and on. It's
We
just
can't do anything about it now.
And the sad thing is whenever we have these kind of discussions, I don't know how you guys feel, but it does with me for sure. Um, it endears me to Elvis even more
Yep.
because I gain even a greater, deeper understanding. And I sit here and I go, no wonder the guy felt fucking lonely. No wonder the guy felt like he had no purpose. No wonder he felt, why me? It was like, because nobody ever, nobody gave him anything back, but yet he gave literally everything right up to his last breath he gave
mm,
to
It's like,
people around him and to us as fans. But did anybody give him anything of value back the
no.
same way we can say Elvis gave to us?
you know
Right.
I want to put myself on the table and venture and go, no, I don't think he ever had a relationship like that where he could look at a relationship and go,
See, I had
this
the same thing
person
with
is,
Lisa. Same thing happened to me with Lisa Marie. Our discussions changed
yeah,
my mind about her, and that's what
yeah.
happens when we
I
do.
remember before we did the first show, you were saying how you felt about her, and then I think it was after the first one we did.
And
When
then I went and found out. I did some research,
uh-huh.
and I found out that these stories. I'm, I again, I still feel I'm still mad at myself for thinking the things that I did for so many years, and talking to people and other fans, and putting this poor girl down because I didn't know because I didn't
No, Joe, you can't. You can't be mad at yourself for not knowing things that only time could teach you.
Yeah, hey, Charlie. Yeah, it was. I was psyched that he's saying that in my show.
You know, with
Yeah,
all
Sorry, Kim.
with all the
you know,
interviews that I've done, not one of them mentioned Lisa Murray.
Yeah,
Not one.
I, I
unbelievable.
I I felt that about a lot of people and a lot of situations in my life. But honestly, you can't be mad at yourself for not knowing something that only time could teach you.
And that was the best thing he left behind.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Take away everything else.
yeah,
It was the best thing he left behind was Lisa Marie.
Yeah,
And he left. From my perspective, and I know this wasn't the purpose of it, but we fans benefited from that in the aspect of getting to know her and seeing her. Though the emotions flow the same with her as we do with Elvis. What that woman
it's
went through. It's just it's season two. You know.
it's like I said the other night too. It's like the similarities between Elvis's life and Lisa's are
yeah,
so massive, but the difference is this: that Lisa was able to
yeah.
live a life in such a way to say, fuck y'all, this is how I'm gonna do it. Elvis was never afforded that opportunity
Mhm.
because everybody, and I think they knew it because that's why they protected him to that extent, because they knew had he half a gap, he would have been exactly the same way.
Can you
But
imagine if she had never existed when he died? Can you imagine what the Elvis community and the Elvis world would be like with the books and no one to stop them?
Yeah, yep,
Oh my God! And can you imagine how far Ramrod Priscilla would be?
yeah. Oh, um, what we just got done doing was defending Lisa. Okay, just so everybody knows that.
Right.
Uh, are we fans of Priscilla?
I'm not.
I'm not.
We don't. I don't allow support for her on this. Let me put it a different way. We don't address anything about Priscilla on this channel because number one, it's such a contentious topic between a lot of people.
Yeah.
Though I don't think we have many people in this group anymore that have a favoritism towards Priscilla. That
Mhm.
I think they've learned over a period of time that I don't. We don't discuss it. We've done a couple of shows like we did with Donna on Priscilla with the lawsuit on that, and it was so much stuff going on. I wanted to get in back. I wanted to get into the Lisa story, and then the Donna stuff come up, and I just said the heck with it. There's plenty of other people that she's doing enough damage to herself. She don't need any help from me right now.
Exact. That's what I was gonna say. I'm
So
not a.
we doesn't mean that we won't ever do talk about her, depending upon we got there's supposed to be a settlement coming up from what I understand somewhere along the line.
Well, somebody was saying that we support her.
Oh yeah, we support who? Priscilla? Nah,
Priscilla.
no, no, I don't. I don't. Not on this. Not this channel.
Yeah.
I
The,
can't say what people in here do, what they think. Sally, Priscilla, who? Yeah, what'd you say, Cam?
and the only reason why I don't support her is not through peer pressure or
No.
because so many other people. I don't like her because I've known from the beginning what she is, and what I found out about her within the last 2 to 3 years of existence has just brought me the receipts of knowing what I've always known. So as Rick said, I'm not a fan of her because she doesn't deserve to be.
Lisa's book put the stamp on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
That was the nail in the coffin for me with her.
It just
she's
upsets me when they use that against you and say, "Oh no, they support him." It's
Yeah,
like
but see, then again, those are the same people that don't watch our channel
yeah.
because you won't find. I've got over 1,100 videos, and you won't find one video that supports her.
being told by people that we support Elvis. What happened, and you know,
Yeah, just screw them. Screw them. They can say what they can say whatever they want out there. I don't really care because the people here that follow us, and we're getting more and more of, we're proving that that's false. The people that want to believe that, I don't want them in this group. They can go
I,
off. And they can, they could go do a circle jerk somewhere. I really don't give a shit.
I like Melissa's comment straight off. That's exactly how I agree with that
Yep.
comment 100%. Melissa says, after Lisa's book, I don't see how anyone can support Priscilla. Also, what she's done to Elvis, her autographing his albums is maddening.
And
Agreed.
oh my God, that and she's posing in places that Elvis was. She's doing poses to mimic like coming out of the back of an alley or something. Are you freaking kidding me? But then the thing that really got me and I read the book and I remember the same, but Amy reminded me in a discussion I think we had here. Donna's comment. Well, after she read the book, well, Priscilla did the best she could.
Is there a word that's more powerful than disgusting? Because
Um,
the way Priscilla treated Lisa,
Don't know.
to me, disgusting is still too much of a nice word. It's almost complimentary compared to how I feel Priscilla treated Lisa.
well, I say vile. Vile would be, I think, worse than just. And even though I don't like that word because of being used so much,
Mm.
vile is a pretty, you know, um,
You wouldn't want to know my.
yeah, you have to do the you have to do the dirty work and read these books to find the contradiction. But I learned something yesterday that if I was to do a research, I am not a researcher. I am a human being.
Okay.
You can't read books.
Oh
You don't,
yeah.
yeah, you don't read books to learn about everything. The fact that we read books is vile and disgusting. That we read books to learn this stuff. Are you freaking kidding me? Where are you going to learn it from?
Yeah.
On stone tablets from Mount Ararat?
My interviews. That's where.
There you go.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, wow,
reprehensible.
yeah, screw the books. Let's just call Joe. Hey, Joe.
Yeah,
Why?
reading is too hard.
Yeah,
Let's call Joe.
it's hard to wrap your brain around what Priscilla did, where yeah, and it just the I try to avoid this stuff, and it's even worse now that this this I don't know tadpole of a son, the disgusting things he said about Lisa. He's a vile, and she brought him to Westgate and brought him up on that frickin' stage that Elvis appeared on.
Seriously, he didn't know he did. Fuck. He had no
That's what
right
I
to
heard.
be there.
That's what I read. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. I just maybe I didn't do my research.
He had no right to be there. The mere fact that Lisa even gave him some of her money to me is shows Lisa's character,
Yeah.
because I know, and I sure as hell sit here and I say it without any shame. If it was me, I wouldn't have given him a fucking penny.
Mm-mm.
I would have said, "Go screw yourself."
Yeah, yeah, he's disgusting. He just laughed about Lisa's memorial that he didn't go, and he just kind of laughed. Why? It's just
What? What?
Well,
yeah.
well,
He does these little TikTok or whatever videos, and somebody was interviewing him, and he talked about. I think it might have been the memorial or something for Lisa Marie, and he didn't go, and he just kind of said, "Well, why?" And
yeah, and he was talking about it like in passing, like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna go. I have no."
sunflower. Yeah, you're right, Rick. She did bring him on. Your research was good.
Rick,
Yeah.
are you a researcher? Oh.
What'd you say, Joe?
I said, are you a researcher?
No, I'm a human being.
I,
Oh, jeez. We get in trouble.
Jesus, is that how old he is?
who?
And he's still fucking hanging on his.
Oh, yeah. Sucking on that teat. He's still. what a piece of
He's
trash.
40 years old. The guy is.
Yeah,
Time to grow up.
I think that was supposed to have been about 25 years
Mm,
ago.
Time to grow up. I had to grow
Unbelievable.
up at 18, so
Yeah, so that's why I don't discuss her much because then I start looking for my antacid or my
Mhm.
or my pistol.
and you got me. They kind of work against each other, though.
That's the yeah,
I
and
miss Amy.
and looking at her, just what she did to her. She was a beautiful woman before she decided to look like that. Um, what's that series where I
Oh,
can't remember it.
that was terrible looking.
It was
Terrible. You know,
it's
I
it's that horror series where they lock these people in a basement and they got to chew their way out of their cuffs or whatever. What the frick was the name of that? That character
Oh,
name?
oh, the Academy Award one?
No.
No. All right. Well, you guys are thinking I gotta say I miss Amy.
Yeah, she's driving right now. She was in here earlier.
but she's listening.
Yeah, she's
She,
listening.
she's
Said,
You
listening.
want to say something to her that
yeah,
doesn't involve vegetables?
she said hello to Joe, but Joe
Yeah.
didn't see.
Yeah.
Oh, did she? I wasn't here, but
You were,
Yeah, you were here. If
oh,
she
you were
spoke
here.
to you, she would have.
I didn't say it because we're so busy
Yeah,
researching.
she joined in the chat. I think she probably stopped for a break or
Which
Yeah,
chat
she said
for
she stopped for food.
yeah, stop for food.
you
Yeah.
know, we're researching stuff. But I got to say something.
Okay.
Pickle, 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 pickle. But she's not here, and I got to get the pickles in.
Oh,
Well,
Don't go there, Cam.
that sounds like medication needed for that one.
Don't go there, Cam.
I was gonna say in order for that thing to grow up, his balls need to drop, but they haven't even formed yet. So
They probably neutered him. He's probably a eunuch.
Vangelo says Lisa Marie was a very strong woman to survive so long. Like her
yes,
father, too good for many of those they were surrounded by. Oh, yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
it's like I said the other night too. You remember, guys? I said the saddest thing for me is coming to the realization that unfortunately Elvis and Lisa were way too good for this evil world.
Yeah, the people that deserve to be around them, as far as when Elvis was alive, would have been Lisa Marie, and then with Lisa, it would have been her children.
I think a
Hmm.
lot of the people that were around him were the people that caused a lot of their problems.
Yeah,
You know,
I just hope it's true. Lisa told Linda to go to hell, then drove off on her golf cart.
I could
You
see
know,
Lisa doing that.
yeah, it's just it's amazing that these people that are banned from Graceland or from Graceland and from for EP Week. I guess they have to pay if they want to go through Graceland. Um, and then they wonder why.
Hmm.
That's why I expose one person because she knows why. But
Hmm.
her fan base doesn't see it. They don't want to know it because it's Elvis's first cousin, dude.
Hmm. So does that negate? Oh yeah, I forgot. A couple of minutes ago, I said common sense in this world today is not as common as what people would like to think, and
Uh,
especially not in the Elvis world.
I see these videos on TikTok pop up, and look what I learned. This is how you do. You can do this as a trick. I sit there and watch it. I go, "Are you freaking kidding me? You just took something and made it take 3 times longer to make than all you had." This is what gets me. All right. So they go to a light switch. They're painting in a room. They go to the light switch. They take tape and tape around the light switch cover, tape all the way around it, and on the edges so no paint gets on it. And then they paint around. When all they had to do was take the freaking switch plate cover off and then
Yeah,
paint. And then when it's dry, you put it back on.
put it back. Yeah,
Common sense that drives me up a wall. It doesn't exist,
yeah,
and they think
yeah,
they discovered some fantastic, thing.
yeah.
Put them in the
Some
backyard with a frisbee and let them just,
Some people are afraid of electric. I can see somebody doing that. It is stupid.
yeah,
some amazing life hack. Where back in our day, we would take a screwdriver and take the plate off.
yeah.
Hmm.
That's what I was talking about. They just, It didn't enter their head. It's like, how am I going to paint around this thing? It amazes me the lack of common sense people have, that some people have, and it is. I see it so much in these TikTok videos. It's
Mm-hmm.
like the ones where they do things that could hurt people. I go, why are you doing that? You could,
Mm.
that person could literally get hurt. You're doing that. That's no common sense. You want to just get views while this guy just broke his spinal cord because of some stupid joke you played, and there's been people hurt because of that.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. There's many other things they could do for great viral videos. Anyway,
It's almost like society is, as technology advances, humanity gets dumber.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I was up in the air about doing the show tomorrow because my wife was going to be off, but that was a gonna be. So she messaged me. She says she'll be working tomorrow. So
Oh,
um,
this is July
I
4th.
don't know. I'm also thinking about just not doing it because it's July 4th too.
Yeah, I prefer
So
it.
I think there will be no shows tomorrow at all
Right.
inside the studio or
Our lives.
or the live. We'll be back on Sunday with Coffee Date and the Gospel show. So you
Yeah, let's do it like that. Of course, there are gonna be people
Yeah.
that are doing their own stuff, and you guys also
traveling,
need
yeah, barbecuing.
you
Out in the
spend time
yard.
with.
Yeah.
Hey,
We'll be we'll be back with D Stanley next week. With the rest of that interview.
ooh,
That'll be that'll be fun to finish that one up. Um, and we got more stuff, but and then we start all over next week. Some more things, movie at Zooms, all of our regular stuff, and then I'm going to start coordinating a time and a date to start the Bioshare Tool because Tool suit the Guardian ad litem because I'm going to tell you guys you're going to have to button up and grab those giblets and hunker down because when we're through with this discussion about what that man did to Elvis, the
you mean
documentation.
I'm gonna feel worse for that than what I did tonight?
Oh my God, yeah. I'm just, and I haven't even we haven't even done the show yet. So this
Uh-oh.
is probably going to take two or three different shows. But it's Rhonda's done some great she's got some great videos on it, and I've watched it and it's given me some thoughts on. I just don't want to walk all over hers, but it kind of coordinates. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
So,
Um,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
we're going to the So tomorrow, nothing. I'm going to relax. I might pick up my guitar. I got it all restrung. I might just you know practice and get my fingers strengthened back up, and
But
maybe
Sunday,
record a couple things. And what's that?
after Sunday, we come back and we protect Elvis.
Yes,
Okay.
Okay.
we are the protectors. Sounds like a TV series starring Efren Zimbalist Jr. Starring
Dum dum dum.
Efren Zimbalist Jr.
Yeah, it's like we said earlier, we don't have any issue with anybody having their own opinion. But when you come into to force an unfounded opinion just because somebody in the Elvis world said it and you taking it as gospel, and uh you have an issue with me or person A or person B putting the facts down on the table and questioning it, and in my own sanity saying no, fuck, that's impossible.
Yeah.
You want to come and still fault me for have that's when I have an issue and say no, fuck
Yeah,
you.
it's how you address it. And the whole thing is how you address it. If you're attacking,
Yeah,
having an adult conversation is one thing. There's been two people I know of that we've kicked out because they've called the person they disagree with some kind of name. They've called
yeah.
them names or called stupid, and I immediately block. I just say bye. I don't even say you're going. I
Well,
just say bye.
you don't want to
Hmm.
go through this. You want this shit to stop.
Yeah,
You don't
Yeah.
want to do this. We'd rather protect Elvis. And I'm
yeah.
not. I'm not being funny. We'd rather do that and let people learn. And we're not
Yeah,
God.
we're
Hell,
not gurus, no.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah. We learn from you guys just as much as you guys learn from us, and that's
sure,
what I like about
that-
this. You guys got your opinions. You guys point us in directions, and I can't tell you how much stuff I've learned from you guys.
You
So
but
know,
you don't
that's
want
kind of nice. You know, it's kind of nice to be able to. It's almost like having holding the class together. You know.
yeah,
we really don't want to do this. We don't want to have to go through this crap every time we do show. We'd rather do the show than this garbage. But we're not
Yeah. That
allowed to.
I just ignore that now. I said my piece about that crap. He'll do that till the day he finally loses his channel. So
but you know that
and he
that
has nobody. He's a Jim Jones of internet.
I think we pretty much reach a consensus with regard to, and that what hurts me because there are people that are still in Elvis's family that why won't they stand up and dispel the shit? And I'm saying n- not stand up and dispel it until you are tired of doing it, which most of them have done. You stand up and you dispel the shit until the bullshit is out and it's done and it's cleaned away. You don't address a situation until you're tired and go, oh well, I've spoken about this for 15 years and people just don't want to listen. I'm not going to approach the subject anymore because it doesn't help. I'm sorry, if Elvis was my family and people were saying shit about him that put him in a bad light, I would fucking defend him until my last day.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, we're back to the. If you just email them if there's anything you want or you suggest. We appreciate the comments. Keep them going because I'm going to do. I'm going to start using them as little, reviews, like a little review section somewhere on the post, or I might just put them out on the post every once in a while. Um, it's nice to read them, and I like sharing them. But if you don't want your, the thing is, your name's out there anyways on it, so I guess it's kind of a dumb. Everyone have a great Fourth. Yep, Karen. Everybody.
Yeah.
If
Happy
you're
4th of July, everybody.
yeah,
Take care.
and if you're not in the states, go out and barbecue, have fun,
I'll
and
be with Cam, and we're going to be shooting off fireworks.
I
yeah.
would love to do that
Mhm.
right now, actually.
All right, y'all have a great night. Amy, if you're still listening, we missed you today. We'll see you soon. Have a safe trip. Be very, very
Yeah.
safe.
Go.
Enjoy enjoy your family time
Yeah.
and look after the foot.
Melissa, Emma, I'm just seeing names I can see right now.
Yeah,
Matthew, all of
these
you. We hit
comments are flying by. Thank you guys.
yeah, Annette, CCAT. All right, thanks, guys. We shall see you later. Bye bye.